Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick story on Brian McKnight and his ex-wife Julie McKnight, who for decades have not been getting along. Their children together are now adult children, well, one has since passed on. May Nico rest in peace. And this story is about Julie McKnight responding to what is being said her ex-husband Brian McKnight did to their son Nico on his dying bed. So Nico had a dying wish, and his only wish was to hear from his father, Brian McKnight, I love you. 3 words, I love you. And according to Nico's older brother, Nico called his father, and his father absolutely did not and said he would not say that he loved Nico. And then you think about that, how evil is that? I know people who children have done the most heinous things, like they're locked away in jail for life, and their parents still say, listen, don't like what you did, but I still love you. What could Nico have done to Brian McKnight that he can't tell his own son, who he gave 50% of his DNA to make, that he loved him? So Julie McKnight is coming out and speaking. And I will say this, listen, when you uncouple from somebody, y'all uncoupling for a reason. For whatever reason, y'all could not get along. All I could say is if you have an ex that seems to be like what we're seeing in Brian McKnight, the best you can do for yourself and in your life is to ignore. And then one more time again, when you think that you just don't have it in you, you got to respond to them, you ignore again. This man just seems to be hell bent on proving and saying that his children with Julie McKnight was not something that he wanted. But how unfair is it to the children? I don't care how much you dislike her or hate her. How unfair is it to the children? So Brian McKnight's ex-wife blasts the singer's heartbreaking choice not to tell dying son Nico, I love you. Brian McKnight's ex-wife was heartbroken to hear the singer refuse to tell their son Nico, I love you on his deathbed. Those words should come easily, freely, and often. Julie McKnight told Page Six in an exclusive statement Friday, and in Nico's case, lying on his sickbed, fighting through pain, fear, and uncertainty, he deserved that love spoken over him more than ever. And I agree. The 54-year-old who was married to Brian from 1990 to 2003 added that there is nothing more heartbreaking than hearing your child say that all they want is to simply hear his father say those 3 words. No child should have to long for something so basic, so pure, so necessary to the human heart, she continued. As his mother, hearing those words from him cut deeper than anything I could have imagined. It reminded me of how powerful love is and how deeply our children depend on it, especially in their most fragile moments, Julie noted. She only ever wanted Nico to feel safe, cherished, and unconditionally loved. Julie concluded, I pray that every parent understands the weight of their words, the importance of their presence, and the healing that love spoken and shown can bring. She and the Grammy nominee welcomed Brian Jr. and Nico, who died in May at age 32 during their time together. The former couple's eldest child exposed Brian's refusal to tell Nico he loved him in a recent interview with Mark Lamont Hill, calling it one of the darkest and coldest and most disheartening memories of his life. That is Nico. That's Nico when he was fighting. He claimed his brother called sobbing over the songwriter's response to his request, which allegedly was, I can't arbitrarily say that I love you. Oh my God. It's just chilling. The American Music Award nominee has long been estranged from his and Julie's sons, revealing in 2024 that he does not claim Brian Jr. and Nico because he considers them a product of sin. Last year, Brian explained in order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of the evil and negativity, even if that evil and negativity is related to you. The musician even welcomed a baby boy with his wife, Leilani, in 2023 and named him Brian Jr. Brian's Instagram bio states he also considers himself the father of stepchildren, Julia and Jack, as well as his new son, and his as well as son Kiko, who died in infancy. In addition to Brian Jr. and Nico, He also leaves out daughter Brianna and son Clyde. When Nico revealed his cancer diagnosis in January 2024, Brian claimed he offered to help, but Julie demanded he stop, an allegation she labeled as a false narrative. A source told us Brian did not contact or see Nico before his passing and did not reach out to the family afterwards. The performer, Mendoza, and their kids held a private memorial in Maui, Brian claimed. First of all, why would you do a private memorial for somebody that you don't even love and can't say that you love? Why would you do that? So you can do a private memorial to mourn his passing, but on his deathbed, he asked you to say, I love you. And you're like, I can't even say that. So why would you spend a dime or 2 seconds of your time doing a memorial for somebody that you can't even say that you loved? I think Brian, this is all my opinion, he needs help. He needs help. And I think he needs help because I feel like something mental has got to be going on when you find the time to do podcasts and people going interviews to say that these children were a product of sin, that these children you don't love, that you have to get rid of evil in order to carry on with your life, even if evil is a part of you. Very sad. I think it would have took him nothing to say, I love you. But to Nico, may you rest in peace. And I pray to God that God met you in your last final moments. And he's told you that no matter what, I'm your father also. And I love you. And I welcome you. And I embrace you. And I no longer wanted you to be in pain. Nico, rest in peace. Sometimes the people that give the DNA to help create you, all they are donors. And you have to look perhaps to uncles or maybe sometimes perfect strangers to be the father that you long for but never had. And Brian McKnight thinks he's being, I guess, funny, or he's making a point. He has to keep saying these things, in my opinion, about the other family because he doesn't even believe it himself, right? That his family he has created with his current wife and the new baby and the 2 children that his current wife has. And I'm willing to bet money, this is just my bet, that if Brian McKnight was not showering the 2 children that he did not biologically have with his current wife with gifts, money, cars, and all kinds of other stuff, they wouldn't even be in his face the way they may perhaps be in his face now. He's going to have some hard lessons to learn, Brian McKnight. But in my mind, there's a lot of demons swirling on in that head when you can't tell another human being that you love them, especially when they're passing, and especially because you contributed to their DNA. Julie McKnight, God bless you. I'm sure that through the years you dealt with a lot because Brian McKnight seems like a lot. And in my comments when I did the video initially saying that Brian McKnight's oldest son said that how he couldn't say I love you to his brother, and people was like, well, Diva, how do you not know that the wife is not the problem? Even if I had a partner that was a problem, if my own child, no matter how problematic my ex-partner was or is, if my child comes to me on their dying bed and says, Mommy, do you love me? I would say I absolutely do. Why would I take out on my child what my ex is doing? Chat with me, guys, and I'll chat back. Let me know your thoughts on this story. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Having an estranged parent or a parent out there that's alive and you just know for a fact that they don't love you, that has got to be heart-wrenching. And when you're going through any type of medical condition, love will help you survive longer, if you ask me, right? Anyway, guys, hit the like button, chat with me. I'll chat back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.